We had a big win this week in the California state legislature against crime, specifically human trafficking of children for sex work. We'll tell you why public pressure forced the hands of liberal Democrat state legislators and forced them to do the right thing, and how this actually might provide a model, a playbook going forward to take back our state from insanity. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California. And yes, it was a very big win this week when Senate Bill 14 passed and went to the governor's desk, which we assume he's going to sign the bill. Senate Bill 14 makes the trafficking of a child for sex work a, quote, serious felony. Now, you might say, well, who could be against that? Why would this be so tough to do? Why is this a hard fight? Well, again, you're talking about the insanity of California Democrats who control the legislature and are more interested in coddling criminals than actually fighting crime, even when it comes to these children who've been taken advantage of by these cartels and human traffickers. So Senate Bill 14 is very simple. It says that the trafficking of a child is now going to be considered a, quote, serious felony, and it would be eligible for an enhanced prison sentence, as well as eligible for the 3 strikes and you're out criminal statute. Democrats opposed it because, well, why else do they oppose any bills that crack down on criminals? They say that cracking down on crime and putting people behind bars is a bad thing. More on that in just a second. But what was amazing about this bill is that we got it passed and public pressure played a key role. Now, I'm going to give you the walkthrough of how this all evolved. It's almost like a civics lesson. It will kind of explain how the California state legislature works, or more accurately, doesn't work. So let's start out first with the context. The Public Safety Committee of the California State Assembly is dominated by liberal Democrats who coddle criminals. In fact, there was a story done just previously in the summer. Assembly Public Safety Committee faces pressure for blocking fentanyl, rape, and other crime bills. It kind of lays out the difficulties we have in trying to get any sort of improved tools to fight crime in California. Listen in.
Aside from fentanyl, that's just one of several issues that your committee has blocked. We've, seen.
This is Chairman Reggie Sawyer, who chairs the Public Safety Committee. Look at that. In a moment, you're going to see like the Black Lives Matter flag in his office. The guy is a Looney Tune.
Enhancements for, the use of a gun in the worst of the worst crimes, a block of making domestic violence offenders face harsher penalties. Same with human trafficking, rape of an unconscious person.
By the way, what she's going through is a litany of crime-fighting bills that he has killed as chair of the Public Safety Committee. And look at that Black Lives Matter flag right there. He's making it no secret who he stands with. He's standing with the thugs, with the criminals, with the people who say that all cops are racist and they use too much force. This guy has an agenda, and it is not your safety at all.
Of a developmentally disabled child. And what do you say to voters that see this type of the rejection for these bills?
So we gave all those bills reconsideration. We tried.
By the way, when he says we gave those bills reconsideration, that means he votes it down, but says we might take it up later on next year. This is his double speak. When he's called out for coddling criminals and rejecting all these common sense bills, oh, well, we gave those bills reconsideration. What he doesn't say is, I killed the bill. I didn't allow it to pass. These are common sense. I mean, who would be against making rape of an unconscious person a felony? Well, this guy. Oh, absolutely. Or an enhanced sentence if you're using a gun in the commission of a felony crime. Oh, he wants to take away your gun rights so that the only people who have guns are criminals. But no, he didn't want to make that law either. The guy is probably one of the biggest threats to public safety, and yet he's the chair of the Public Safety Committee.
With the authors so that we can make sure that they got to the specific root of what they're trying to do.
What discussions have you spoken to the authors of these bills?
They haven't spoken to me yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting for them to the first.
There's a reason why these authors aren't speaking to you. You rejected their bill. You're not interested in actually punishing criminals. You made that quite clear. You consider the criminal justice system a racist enterprise. You've said that on a number of occasions. Here is this wingnut talking about why he is pushing back against these bills.
Right now, fear is driving people's feelings of crime, not the facts.
Fear of crime is the bad thing. It's bad to have fear and want action. Fear is driving people's concerns about crime, not facts. Well, people are afraid because, well, the homicide rate went up by 30% statewide since 2019. Smash and grabs are everywhere. No, this is not an irrational fear that the public's having. The problem isn't the public, sir. The problem is you. You are coddling criminals.
What I was trying to convey is Prop 47 needs to be better.
Prop 47 basically took tools out of the hands of police officers so they can't actually arrest people anymore. And he says, oh, we just need to make it better. No, we need to repeal it. We need to basically say if people commit crimes, we can actually arrest them and prosecute them. Prop 47 downgraded crimes from felonies to misdemeanors to civic participation.
We need to work together to make it better. And what I'm trying to get is both law enforcement and the criminal justice groups to come together.
Oh, the criminal justice groups? No. The criminal justice groups are the pro-criminal groups. Let's not call them criminal justice. There is no criminal justice. There's no victim justice in this state. There's nothing but coddling criminals. Criminal justice groups are not about justice. They're about protecting criminals and putting them back out on the streets. Make no mistake about it.
Law enforcement kind of has quick fixes, which really is about creating felonies, putting people in jail, increasing the number of people who are in prison.
No argument there. When someone commits a crime, rapes an unconscious person, traffics a child for sex, they ought to be in jail. I mean, he's literally saying that the problem with law enforcement is they want to arrest people and put them in jail. That's somehow a problem. No, that's how rational, civilized countries handle crime. Only out here in California have we decided to take tools out of the hands of law enforcement, disparage them as a bunch of thugs and racists, and decide to give people a free pass by having no bail policies. That's what this Reggie Jones Sawyer, chair of the Public Safety Committee, supports. That is his philosophy.
But no rehabilitation.
No rehabilitation. No rehabilitation for criminals. That's nonsense. But rehabilitation starts with punishment. They've got to be actually punished for their crime. Someone who repeatedly does crime, well, frankly, you put them behind bars as long as you can because there's no chance that they're going to change their ways. You give them opportunities, but you got to punish them. You've got to arrest them. You got to charge them with a crime. You got to put them behind bars, force them to do some amount of time. But he just wants rehabilitation. He's also one of the biggest proponents of reparations. He says that giving people cash is really what the problem is. He's a wingnut. And Democrats refuse to rein him in. So as a result, that the bill making the trafficking of a minor a serious felony, that bill died in his committee in early July. Here is the story on how that all went down, where you had victims of human trafficking, families who've lost their kids to the sex trade and the drug trade of these cartels and coyotes. They testified and they literally screamed in agony when the human trafficking punishment bill was voted down.
California lawmakers today rejected a measure that would make human trafficking of a child a serious felony. Experts say right now those convicted of trafficking people under the age of 17 are able to get out of prison early and serve much less time than what they're sentenced to. Case Area 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala explains both sides of this issue and why the lawmaker who wrote this bill was shocked by the vote today.
California lawmakers in the Assembly Public Safety Committee today blocked a bill that would have defined human trafficking of a child a serious felony. This would have made it a strikeable offense, meaning it could put people convicted of trafficking children away for longer if they are convicted of trafficking them again. Right now, those convicted are eligible for early release credits, meaning their sentences can be significantly reduced. Supporters say this measure would have changed that. But opponents say more prison time doesn't get to the root of the problem and say there are already laws on the books that can put traffickers away for a significant amount of time. This bill was halfway through the legislative process. It passed unanimously through the state Senate with broad bipartisan support. State Senator Shannon Grove, who authored the bill, told us she was blindsided by today's vote.
You can pass a note to a bank and rob a bank. You can commit arson, and that's considered a serious felony. But to traffic a minor child in the state of California is not. That's something wrong. I mean, I'm talking 0 to 17, where the average age is 10. And they would not pass this bill.
Now, the vote tally was 2-0. No Democrats were willing to vote for this bill, and those 2 votes came from Republicans. This bill is not dead. It's just not moving forward for the rest.
By the way, 2-0, they still have to get enough votes to get it out of committee. This is the way that they give Democrat legislators a pass when they don't want to vote against something. They just walk out of the room. They literally just walk out of the room so they don't have to face their angry constituents back home. It is a game. It is a trick to shield them from any transparency or accountability.
Rest of the year, discussions on this at the state capitol can pick up next year. Reporting at the state capitol, Ashley Zavala, KCRA 3 News.
Well, if you may have noticed, the Assembly Public Safety Committee is known for blocking measures that would increase prison time, recently rejecting similar measures for fentanyl dealers and domestic violence offenders. The chairman of the committee, Assemblyman Reggie Jones-Sawyer, has promised to work with Senator Grove on this human trafficking.
No, they kill it and they then say, oh, we'll work with her. But the criminals get the free pass. They love it. California Democrats have a constituency, criminals. There's no doubt about it. Take a look at their votes. Okay. That's not a partisan statement. It is a true statement because every opportunity they have pushed back. But in this case, it was different because within 48 hours of this bill dying in that committee, California Democrats reversed themselves because of the public outcry.
Reversal of a decision following intense pressure from state leaders and public outrage. A key group of lawmakers changing their minds today on a proposed child sex trafficking law. On Tuesday, the Democrat-led State Assembly Public Safety Committee blocked a bill that would make that crime a serious felony. Well, today, state leaders forced the group into an emergency hearing to move it forward. Hello, I'm Galston Dar.
I'm Lisa Gonzalez. KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala has been following this closely throughout the week. And Ashley, what was the tipping point? It seems like they've done some backtracking.
Yeah, Lisa, I mean, there was public outrage. There was serious political blowback, including from Governor Gavin Newsom, who stood up yesterday and advocated for this proposal that was written by a Republican. The committee's initial decision shocked many because this bill had broad bipartisan support from both Democrats and Republicans. It cleared the state Senate unanimously before all of this drama. Today, the Assembly Public Safety Committee had no choice but to approve it.
Jones-Sawyer.
Aye.
In a forced emergency meeting, the Assembly Public Safety Committee.
I love it. A forced emergency meeting. In other words, they had their ass handed to them and then they had to quickly reconvene. This guy is a fraud. Whenever he says, oh, we're going to be working with the bill sponsor, it never happens. They kill the bill. But on this one, something different happened. And that was you, the public, took to their social media accounts, started calling and emailing saying, what the hell are you people thinking? Children being trafficked for sex isn't a serious felony in the state of California? So even though we have a lot of the deck stacked against us as common sense Californians who don't want the liberal approach to our state, when we speak out on a principled position like this, we can make change happen. So this bill then advanced out of the committee. Then they tried killing it again. That was in July. In August, they tried killing it by putting it in the Appropriations Committee suspense file. And that's a way for them not to have to vote on something, not to vote it down. Do you notice that there's a theme here? Politicians not wanting to vote no on a good idea. There's all sorts of tricks that they can play. referring a bill, putting it in the suspense file to avoid a bad vote. But once again, public pressure called them out, saying, why is it in the suspense file? Get it out of the Appropriations Committee, get it to the Senate and the House, the Assembly floor. And ultimately, it got out of that Appropriations Committee with a lot of public pressure and made it to the Assembly floor. Well, this is what happened yesterday. And I want you to notice who's cheering in this video. This is a video courtesy of Josh Hoover, a state assembly member from Sacramento, a Republican, who literally took a video of the Assembly floor as Senate Bill 14 passed the Assembly, and it passed unanimously, by the way. Public pressure forced him to do the right thing. But I want you to notice the people standing up and cheering. I can tell you, I know each of them individually. They are all Republicans, the few handful that we have. The rest sitting in their seats, quiet, stony-faced. Democrats who voted for the bill, but they're not happy. All right. You look at this video and you tell me if the Democrats sitting in their chairs are happy about the fact that they had to do the right thing. Watch this video.
All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. Clerk's close the roll.
Republicans right there. And let's pan to the Democrat side. Oh, they're all sitting down. They're all stony-faced. Look like someone just tinkled in their Cheerios. They did not like having to do the right thing. I don't care what they like or don't like. I just want to make sure we force their hand and get them to do the right thing because crime is surging in California. And so I believe that SB 14 provides a model, a vehicle for us to emulate going forward on other pieces of legislation that will help give law enforcement and prosecutors the tools they need to keep our streets, our communities, our neighborhoods safe. That's why I want you to go to the website, restorepublicsafety.org, restorepublicsafety.org. That is our campaign site to support district attorneys who are going to crack down on crime, to repeal Prop 47 and Prop 57, the catch and release laws of the state of California, to support common sense legislation like SB 14. There are several other bills that were killed this cycle. We need to get them reintroduced and passed next cycle. It also supports educating the public on why crime is going up and what we need to do to fix it, to keep people safe. Go to that website, restorepublicsafety.org. Share the stories that are up there. We're doing town halls up and down the state of California on this issue. We have stories like the ones you see here. Democrats refuse to make rape of an unconscious person a felony. Democrats fight deportation of illegal immigrant violent felons with your tax dollars. California wants to make it illegal to confront shoplifters. Voters aren't aware of all this garbage. And so we need to get the word out. Chip in a contribution at restorepublicsafety.org. Sign up to be a volunteer and share those news stories. Also, like and subscribe to this video. Help us goose the algorithm, break through the liberal media's censorship so that we can get California voters the truth about why crime is going up and what they can do to keep themselves safe. Like and subscribe to this video, share it, subscribe to this channel as well so we can continue to give you updates. But that's the story of SB 14, a big win this week, all due to the fact that we had great public pressure applied on legislators, and sometimes the little guy, the good guys win. Shout out to State Senator Shannon Grove for a phenomenal job leading and shepherding this bill through the legislature. Kudos to you. You did some amazing work, and those kids are going to benefit from your leadership. Go to restorepublicsafety.org. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Thanks for watching. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.